Hi, everybody. It's Molly STONE-BIBB, Executive Leader with Avon. I had a few people in our Onward No Matter What group ask me if I would do a video on events. Now, I do have a video out there that talks about fairs, which for as far as big events, like week events that I put out there where we have the spinning wheel and we're, just giving away products left and right and we're signing people up and all that's great. So that video is still out there. Um, but I'm talking about like when you first start out business, when you're like, you know what, I've been through my neighborhood, I'm willing to go further to deliver orders, I'm really trying to build my sales, but I don't know how to get my name out there. And what I used to do, of course, I'm 12 years in now, but what I used to do is I would go do what we call tailgating, or we would do events at certain things. Like in the beginning, it was cheaper things. Maybe it was a big like community yard sale, and I could get a table for $5 or $10, and I would, take the table, bring my chair, and make my presentation and my brochures out there. And I'm going to go over some little things that I did to bring people in. And then also mobily, how you can do events just mobily, like from the back of your car. In my case, I have a Toyota Sienna van, how I would just raise that up and we would do some tailgating and we'd hope to get some recruits and we'd get some customers, almost always customers, because people, when they saw Avon, they were like, oh my gosh, and they'd come running. So we're going to start on the lower end, and I'm going to say, first of all, you've just got to be willing to get out there and try it. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that sometimes you will get in the back of a parking lot or a shopping center parking lot, and people like security will come over and say, hey, I'm sorry, you can't do this here. And they are going to make you leave. That's okay. You don't say, oh my gosh, this doesn't work. You just simply go somewhere else. And what I do when I'm out and what I teach my team to do is when you're out and you're on the road, to scope out the area around you. You know how it is. One day there's a store here and it's open and all these stores are filled. Next thing you know, they're not. They're gone. They closed up. They went out of business. So you have this open parking lot there, these open storefronts, and there's nothing happening there. I mean, we have one right now down the road from us that it's the same thing. So, we could go there at any time and raise the back of the van. Um, when I first started, I used to do poster boards and I would put free Avon samples. A lot of people put free Avon. There's no problem with that. You're okay. But my problem was when people came up and they wanted to know what they got free. And if I handed them a lipstick sample or a perfume sample, they were like, what? They weren't really too happy about that. So I would put free Avon samples. So that told them it was Avon. And I would park my vehicle where they could see it on either side. So whether they were coming or going, they could see that it was Avon. The great thing about that is they're seeing it. If they stop, they want it, right? They want it. So that's what you want. People that you don't have to convince to buy your products or to have you as a independent sales representative. They want you, which is amazing. So what I would do is would take a bungee cord or something. Some people, maybe they want to tape it. I don't know what they want to do. Now I have something that's a little bit better. Again, my business is growing. I'm making more money. I did what I could do according to what my budget was. And you need not to be ashamed of that. The bad thing about social media right now is you come onto groups like Onward or some of the other groups and you see that somebody is doing something and they have this amazing sign that probably cost them $50, $100 to have it done. And you're like, you don't have that kind of money right now. You're working on it. So you just choose not to do anything in the meantime. You don't want to do that. You have to start from the ground and move your way up. Look, that's how it is in life. You don't start out walking when you come out of your mama's womb. So you got to crawl. Somebody's going to hold you first. Then you got to crawl. Then hopefully you're going to be walking. And then hopefully you're going to get a bike. And then hopefully you're going to get a car. So you have to think of business the same way. You have to say, what can I afford to do right now that will help move my business? Now, I couldn't do this all the time in the beginning because I already had 2 jobs and I had kids I was raising. But when I had like a Saturday, or if something happened and let's say I was off for a holiday, I would make sure that I did this kind of stuff. So what exactly would I do besides the free Avon samples? Well, like I said, I would open up the back, and I had a small fold-up table that was real easy, especially if they was chasing you away. You know, I would have a small table that I could put out, and I had a little tablecloth that said Avon on it. But even if it doesn't, that's okay, because if you're making poster boards up, or you go on Facebook to Avon signs and decals, you can get something made up that's really simple, and I don't think they're that crazy. But if you can't, make it yourself. Get a magic marker. That's what I did. You have to start somewhere. You got to make some money in order to invest the money to get better stuff, right? So don't be ashamed of that. Be proud that you're out there and you're doing something, which is more than a lot of representatives are doing. So my setup was basically, like, I didn't have a lot of stock. That wasn't the need. I couldn't buy a bunch of stock and keep it on hand. I had a few things, like if if like hand creams were on sale, I would get hand cream. If lip balm, which of course y'all know what that looks like. I don't know why I feel the need to sit here and show you what a lip balm look like, but let me see here. What did I do with it? I just had it earlier when I was on. Oh, here it is. Okay, so these were on sale. So I have lip balm. So what I do is I would buy, for a couple of campaigns, I would buy 5 or 10, like out of the outlet book. Anything that's there, or if Avon had a great deal in the What's New or the demo book, that's what I would do. I would buy some, because my hope would be that there would be 20 or 25 people. That was my goal, that would stop by, because I knew I was only going to do this for a few hours. But I really wanted to get out there. So I got some of these at a really great price, because I was going to give these away if the person who stops does something, which I'm going to tell you about in just a second. So I had this. Um, if I could have a couple of bug sprays on hand, this time of the year, we're talking spring into summer, when you're out there and it's nice and you're wearing short sleeves and everybody is being bit up by mosquitoes, you don't have to have a case of these. You don't have to have 10 of these. Have a couple, know what you're going to sell them for. You can get the little dot label things where you can write $6, $5, $11, whatever it is you're selling for, because you might make just some instant sales right there. If you have things that are returned, that maybe somebody didn't take an order, you haven't returned it yet. If you have a couple of pieces of jewelry, anything that you have, that was key for me to say, this is what I have right now, whether I want the inventory or not, but I want to get it out of here. I want to make the money. So I would reduce it a little bit from what that customer would have paid for it. Okay, so I'm making a little bit less commission. But if I could not send it back to go against my award sales, I was really happy with that. So if I had little things like that, I did. If not, I didn't. It was okay. So remember, I had some lip balms. I had some hand creams, the little things of hand creams, not the big one. I had a couple of these. If I happen to have a skin so soft, I had that. If I had some, sometimes they have footwork deal in What's New, and maybe I had that and I was looking to share that. That's what I would do. Well, when I did these small events, whether it's tailgating, a community yard sale, a vendor event where I can get a table for $20 no matter what it was, I immediately started looking in the What's New. In the What's New, look, I get that we can look through this. We can get stuff for ourselves with great prices. I was really excited about the stuff that was coming, but this is what I really loved. I love the fact that they had great deals on stuff. Like, for instance, this is the What's New for the campaign 14, 2016. Now, what I love about this is you see this set here. One, I know it's going to be fabulous. It's the Starfruit and Coconut, and it's the Senses, which was known as the Naturals line. I love this. Do you realize this whole set, which is coming with 4 shower gels, 2 body lotions, and 2 body sprays, that whole set, it's going to cost me $10.98. Do you know each one of these things, if you sold them separately, do you know it's a $60 value? Crazy, right? But if I knew that I was going out twice a week to go tailgating or to do a couple events, whatever it is, I would get this. And think about this now. 4 shower gels, 2 body sprays, and 2 body lotions. So I could take 2 shower gels, 1 body lotion, 1 body spray, and I could make up a little basket, a little gift box. Look, with the dollar store that's out there now, you can get anything to just put that in. Put a little cellophane around it if you want to. Even if you don't want to put the cellophane around it, you don't have to. You can put a little of the nice colored grass inside of it. You could just make it a nice gift bag, but you want to make it where they can see the products. And when people came up and they were like, oh my gosh, Avon, well, what free samples do you have? Well, everybody gets what I call a sample bundle from me. My friend Milagros Garcia, if you've subscribed to her YouTube, that's great. If you haven't, you need to. She calls these bombitas. And what these basically are is they have a recruiting flyer in them, which if you're in my Onward group, that there are ones that you can print out. These are some old recruiting cards that Avon had a long, long time ago that are still useful, and I'm trying to use them up. So don't be like, Molly, what is that? You don't got to ask all that. They don't have them anymore, but I'm using them up. I have a little tab on here, and that little tab says, oh, can you even read that? To reorder, call Molly with my 800 number that's on it. I got those made at www.lovemybuttons.com, and yes, they're buttons, but there's also stickers. Really, really economical, not expensive at all. And with this, I always made sure that I had a lipstick, a woman's perfume, a man's cologne, and what else did I have in here? Oh, skincare, definitely skincare. And then if I had any of the like outlet flyers or the seasonal flyers that sometimes Avon will match you for brochure, they'll give you those little flyers. You're like, I didn't order them. Well, they're so nice and awesome. They give us one for every brochure that we order. So when all my customers had them and I still had some left, I use those so that I can make sure that I have something in here that's a sale flyer, that a lot of this stuff Avon is discontinuing, whatever. They still have a lot of it. Sometimes they sell out immediately, but they're going to get a brochure that has a recruiting flyer in this too. Okay, this is wrapped, of course. Let me be clear with this. Everybody's always asking, so I want you to look. You see this? This is the clear literature bags that you can get in the business tool section. As you will see, I have it. It fits sideways in these bags. Yeah, until you get used to it, it takes a little work to put it up. People say, oh, I don't want to do all that work. Well, that's okay. What happens is I do this, and as you can see, look what I do. I fold it. Just fold it. You know, if it's complicated, you know I can't do it, right? Not this girl. So I fold it. I stuff it in the inside. You see this? Which then gives it the appearance to look like this. It kind of looks like the shrink wrap, right? But it's not, because you can get 50 of these bags for 80 cents if you go to my orders, and then once you click on your name, look down the left-hand side, you're going to see sales business tools. They're called clear literature bags, and you can get yourself some too. And these look really good. I toss my brochures like this so they don't get wet, so I don't have to then roll them up, and there's nothing wrong with rolling them up and putting rubber bands on them. I just like them better when they're flat and they're professional, not to mention the recruiting flyer that I put on them. I want to make sure that that stays neat so that they know how they can sign up. Of course, I've got my information on there. Oh boy, that just went out of focus for a minute, didn't it? That's crazy. So they're going to get a brochure when they come in. They're going to automatically get a sample pack when they come in. That, again, gives a sale flyer. I have a little piece of candy in there. I give them a little bit of everything. And let me be clear. You don't have the money to buy all of this stuff. I didn't start out like this either. I can remember when I used to give them 2 things. They either got a perfume and skincare, or they got lipstick and skincare. The one thing I always made sure they had was skincare, no matter what. Now I'm in a position, and I have to say, the samples are so reasonable with Avon right now that I try to put 1 men one women's, then of course the lipstick, then of course skincare. And this time, because I had some of the extras, I want people to use the Bud Guard. I would get packages of the Bud Guard towelettes and I would put one in there. You don't have to do that with everybody. These are left over. I give these sample packs to my customers too when they order. When they order, they get a sample pack. Some people will say to me, like there is a unplugged in here, an unplugged men's cologne. And people will say, well, Molly, why are you giving them colognes that Avon's not selling anymore? Well, number one, we have enough connections with Facebook on things like the Avon Outlet Facebook page. We have also, if you're looking to buy certain Avon products, you can get them. So if I can get this for them from another representative, I'm going to do that. But what's really great is we have a product information line. And if you know, all you have to do is you have to call them and say, hey, look, I've got somebody who smelled the unplugged, or they smelled this, or they smelled that, and they want something that's very, very close. And they will tell you what is closest to that cologne or perfume. And I'm very honest with the customers. Look, you know, we had a celebrity who was pimping this, and he's not with us anymore, so we're no longer holding it. But what I'd like to do is get you a couple of samples of something that's very close to it. Matter of fact, I'll get you a couple of things that are pretty close to it, and I will get those in your hands if you'll give me your information. I have never had anybody tell me no. They've been like, hey, that's fine. I would love it if you could find me something. So that's what you want to do. So I make sure they have samples because I'm telling you, samples sell. Now, I talked about what you're going to do. You're going to do a little basket or gift box or something with something like this. And look, this stuff is always there. And don't you love this? They have the new hydrating color, True Color lip balms that are coming in. Remember some of the colored lip balms we have? Well, they're coming back. Avon is listening. So I love that. So then what I do? So Molly, but what do you do with the basket? Let me tell you what I do with the basket. The basket is something that they can be in a drawing for. And you're like, well, what? You know what? Yep. If what I want them to do is I want them to fill out a form. Now, there are 4 forms on this page. Okay, this is called a customer info form. I keep it simple. As you can tell, I don't beautify it with a lot of color. I don't beautify it with a bunch of Avon words on here. I don't want to put all my money into ink. I'm sorry. I just don't. Now, if you choose to, and that's your thing, I'm not telling you it's wrong. I'm just telling you that I want to get the information and I want to do it as simple as I can. Cheap white paper, cheap black ink. That's all I want. So there's 4 of them on here, so I can cut these up. It asks for their name, their address, their phone number, and their email. Then I ask 3 questions. Do you have an Avon representative? Yes or no? If no, would you like to have service from an Avon representative? Yes or no, they're going to mark it. And then, are you interested in making an extra $200 to $300 per month by sharing an Avon brochure? You notice I didn't say by selling Avon. You notice I didn't say anything remotely talking about them selling anything because nobody wants to sell anything. But I basically said, if you want to share a brochure, we can help you earn extra money a month. People are going to mark that yes or no. This lets me know what they need. So number 1, remember, they've already stopped at my table or they've already stopped at my tailgating site. Now they're letting me know, do they want something? Do they want service? Are they interested in the opportunity? If they're interested in the opportunity, you need to be showing them how to get on and self-appoint with you right then or help them do it on your mobile app, whatever it is. But maybe they want to sign up in person with you. If you want to do that, maybe you have a kit with you. That's always a good thing if you do. But I put these, I got the little miniature clipboards, which are not very expensive. You can get 1 or 2 at Staples for like $1 something a piece. And I put these on here, have a couple of pens ready, and I say to them, if you fill out one of these completely, I am going to give you the choice of a hand cream or a lip balm, whichever you choose. And let me tell you something, for a hand cream or a lip balm, you'd be surprised what they fill out. They fill that son of a gun out, and I love it. So That's what I do. See, but you got to be prepared. You got to have these. And then they say, okay, well, that's really great. And say, but if you fill this out too, I have one other event to do this week where I'm doing the same thing. But at the end of the week, all of these go into a drawing, and your name could be drawn to win the basket that you created with the naturals, the census things that are in here. So they have two reasons to fill it out. You've already given them a sample packet for stopping by and a brochure. That's free, which is awesome. Now you're giving them a chance to get a hand cream or a lip balm or whatever it is that you choose, but they're the two cheapest things for me, so that's what I still use even now. But now they get an entry to win. This isn't earn, this is win. To win that all those products. So look, so if the whole product thing with all of those products together was a $60 value, that means that each of those two baskets, that they're $30 a piece retail price, and you can put on there it's a $30 value with Avon, and all you have to do is fill this out. People will fill it out. I'm telling you, I think seldom do I have people not fill it out. Everybody likes a chance to win something. Why not? They got just as much a chance as anybody else. Now, for those of you who are new, who are really trying to build your business, my suggestion is when you find a place or two that work, is to find a time that you're there and a day that you are consistent with. Do you realize that when somebody knows you're going to be somewhere, do you realize they will come back and they will visit you there? This is where you find out what people like. When I would go back to the same places, sometimes they would sit there and flip through the catalog with me, and they would place an order, and I would say, I'm going to be back here on Saturday between 9 and 11, and I made sure I always stayed. And I always told them, if it's raining cats and dogs, I won't be here, but I will call you if you give me your number, and we can make other arrangements for you to get it. But if not, you can come right there between that time and you can pick it up from me. I will have your order, which is a good thing. Either way, if that works for you, do it that way. If you just want to do a normal customer delivery, you can do it that way. But I have had people order from me on the spot. I have had people sign up with me on the spot. Have I had that happen every time? No, I haven't. Look, I don't have a great campaign every campaign, okay? This is building a business. But when you're saying that you cannot locate any more customers, you don't know anybody, that means you must put yourself out there in the public. You must walk right directly out of that comfort zone, and you ain't got to be incognito here. You must be booyah, bold. That's what you need to be. And when you find a couple of good places and you can go back to those places, this can multiply success for you, because she's going to say that she met you. She's going to say that you said you're going to be back on this day. She's going to tell that person. Before you know it, you're going to have a need to have stuff like this on hand, because tailgating can be the bomb. I mean, let me tell you, when I needed to make extra money in sales, and by the way, with leadership, remember, we're building a residual income. We're signing people up. We're training them how to do what we do. We're giving them all the helpful hints we can so that they'll do this. But what's really great is when you figure out that people like the bug spray, or they like the Skin So Soft oil, or maybe they like the deodorants, which is another good one to have. It's not expensive. Have a couple of the most popular ones. Um, when you know what people like, and you just have a couple of baskets of that stuff in it that are already marked with price, some people would much rather just come and stop. Like, especially people go yard sailing on Saturdays. If you're out somewhere early and you've got a spot, I don't care if you live on a main drag and your spot's at the end of your daggone driveway. The point is, it's a spot. Nobody can chase you away from there. It can work for you. The point is, you've got to get out there and find what works. I cannot tell you how many places I have gotten chased away from, people saying, you can't be here, or let's go one better. It was okay for like 2 weeks. It was okay for 2 months, but then something happened. Someone bought something. It was not okay. Now, the other thing you can do, that is just doing stuff on your own. The other thing you can do is try to partner with businesses. But Molly, I don't know what to do with that. Sure you do. It's no different than sharing with people that you want to be your customers. Number one, you want to make sure you're presentable. You want to make sure that you put some paint on that barn, look good, smile, be happy about what you're doing, because if you ain't happy about what you're doing, why you doing it, number one. You really want to have a business card, whether you're making them yourself or whether you're ordering them from Town and Country on the Avon site, or you're getting them from Vista Print, which is where I get the majority of mine. You want to have a business card so that when you walk in to talk to the business, you very much have all your information together. And look, it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Don't feel like you're going in there to make a speech. I try to pick places like diners that are owned probably privately, small stores that are owned privately. Sometimes the dollar stores are really great too if they know that you're just out there offering the opportunity. Now, a lot of times when you do that, um, you cannot be selling products if the dollar store gives you permission to be out there. You'll say, I'm offering the opportunity to people, giving them a way to make extra, earn extra income. Plus, we're one of the largest supporters for breast cancer awareness and domestic violence. And we like to tell people about that. When you use our forums sometimes and you say, I would love to partner with you if you would allow me, by allowing me to set up a tent or set up a table outside your store or in your parking lot. And if you have any sale flyers, if it's a restaurant or something, you can say if you have a carry-out menu, if you have something to advertise, I would love to give that to anybody who comes up to my table. Or if you have somebody who comes into your store and purchases products or purchases a meal, however it's going, according to where you're going, if they bring their receipt out to me and they show me, I will have a gift for them. What will you have for them? You will have a book, you will have a, a sample packet, and you will either have a hand cream that has your name, some sticker or something on it, or a lip balm. Same thing as before, but you're going to give them something. Plus, you will be the one who they are going to have a carry-out menu or something, or maybe they'll have a sale flyer or something. But look, even if they don't, like the dollar stores, they didn't have that stuff for me, but they love the fact that if people came in there and they bought something and it was $5 or more that they bought, they would come out, they'd show me their receipt, and then they would get a free hand cream or something. In the meantime, you get to talk to them. Hey, how you doing? Do you have an Avon representative? I would love to do that. Hey, I have a basket here also of Avon stuff. Would love for you to have a chance to win this. All you have to do is fill out all you have to all I have to do is fill this form out for me, and you will be entered, and we are going to draw this at the end of the week. Would you like to do that now? You know what? And you give them something. Look, it's easy. It doesn't matter how you do it. Oh, it's nerve-wracking at first because you're like, the first three owners may say no. But the point is, you're getting used to saying the words, and you're going to get more comfortable with it. And then the no's aren't going to matter so much, because you cannot get better at sharing what you want to share until you do it enough. It's no different than when you first started the business and you were talking about being an Avon representative. Uh, so, so I want you to think about not exactly how I do it. Remember, these are just ideas that I'm giving you. But what is great is that you can take these ideas and you can mold them into you. Your personality, what you can afford to do, what you can afford to gift, what samples you can afford. Is it a sign that you're going to have made? Is it a sign you're going to make? We all started somewhere. But if you don't take the first step forward and you don't start somewhere, your business is not going to grow. Now, if you have plenty of customers, you have plenty of recruits, maybe you don't have any reason to do this then. But if you are looking to grow your business and take it to new levels, levels that some people only dream about, you must start with things like this. You know, it's no different than if you go to a senior community and you say, hey, look, I would love to bring some samples in, and I would love to bring some brochures in and talk to the ladies. And, maybe you could get a couple of mascaras and Avon. You can buy the little wands, the Try Me wands, and you can say, I'm going to have a mascara demonstration, or get some lipstick samples and have a lipstick demonstration with a couple of dollar store mirrors. And you sit down there and you have a good time and you talk to these ladies who, by the way, some people never come to talk to them. It's such a gift of giving back with Avon, no matter what you're doing. If you're out there tailgating, if you're going to a seniors community, if you're going to partner with a business where you're trying to help them, whatever it may be, they're trying to help you, you're trying to help them. You know, it's how it is. I mean, I know a lot of the Applebee's let representatives come in, like when they have ladies' night or whatever, and they let them set up tables, and that they have a spinning wheel, they can spin and they can win a prize, and you can make it just fabulous if you're where you need to be to do that. I know Tammy Deloach has done that. A friend of ours in a neighboring district, she was great at that when she was doing it. But you're never going to know if you don't ask. If you ask and they say no, or they say, well, I can't give you permission. Well, what are the steps I have to go through? What do I have to do to get permission? Because I would love to partner with you guys. Look, if you say it with meaning, if it's something you really want to do, if you're going to commit and get behind it, it can happen for you. This is not just about handing brochures out to anybody that you see, or just tossing brochures. Avon has an opportunity to open up doors to everyone, to every business. You can take it on the road. You can go to the next city. You can go to the next town. You can go to the next business. You can set up in an empty lot. It's all in what you choose to go forward with. If you just choose to do the simple things, then your business is going to grow very slowly. But if you choose to use a smorgasbord of all the information you get from me, that you get from Reps on Onward, that you get from my buddies, the Formidable Four, with Lisa Scola, Teresa Paul, Lisa freaking Wilbur, if you're connected to these people and you're listening not just to their stories, but what they've done all through their business, and what they're teaching their team to do, and what we're sharing with all representatives out there to do, you cannot do anything but be successful at this. So I am challenging you to do this and to get out there, use these helpful hints, and go forth and be successful with your business. So I will see you next time on YouTube. And if you have not subscribed, please press the subscribe button. Talk to you next time. Bye.